Crispy fried chicken, savory meat, creamy sauce, ice cold soda. It sounds like the perfect meal. But could it be quietly harming your health? For a few bucks that seem like a steal, you might be paying a far steeper price with your own body. Millions of Americans eat these dishes every day, unaware that beneath the golden crust might lurk oil reused for weeks, improperly stored meat, or kitchens teeming with bacteria. A discreet investigation has exposed secrets America's most famous restaurant chains never want you to know, revelations that could change how you order forever. Here's the truth about 6 restaurant chains trusted by millions of Americans daily, but which might be quietly making you gamble with your immune system.
Chili's baby back ribs.
Let's step into the world of Chili's, a beacon of lively dining where warm golden lights and the sizzle of fajitas whisper, "Come on in, culinary paradise awaits." Founded in 1975 in Texas, Chili's has won over American hearts with its iconic Tex-Mex dishes, smoky fajitas, bold BBQ ribs, and molten chocolate cake that begs you to dive in with a spoon. Billboards paint a dream of perfect family dinners or post-work hangouts where friends laugh over margaritas. But behind this restaurant's velvet curtain lies a culinary drama full of surprises, and not the kind that earns applause. You settle into a Chili's booth, the lighting cozy, the food arriving fast, the aroma just right to make you believe it's crafted with care. But there's a side to Chili's diners don't see. Beyond the kitchen doors, things aren't as they seem. Chili's is hiding an industrial machine fueled by speed, shortcuts, and vacuum-sealed bags. Former employees, from sweaty line cooks to smiling servers, have spilled a bitter truth. Most dishes start in plastic pouches. Those fragrant BBQ ribs, fresh off the grill? Nope. They're pre-cooked, frozen, and revived in a reheating oven. That creamy pasta? Pre-boiled noodles from the morning, tossed with industrial sauce poured from a giant plastic bag. And the homemade mashed potatoes brimming with love? Mixed on site with margarine and hot water. What about that iconic sizzle when fajitas hit the table, turning heads and sparking hunger? It's not the sound of freshness. A former server who worked there for 3 years revealed the magic trick right before the dish is served. A splash of water or oil hits a cold cast iron skillet. Steam rises, smoke swirls, voila, a performance so slick you'd think you're watching MasterChef. That sound isn't sizzling food, it's pure theater. On food safety, multiple Chili's locations have faced fines for improper storage, especially with chicken and seafood. A May 15, 2024, health inspection report in Houston, Texas, cited one Chili's for storing raw chicken directly above lettuce in the same fridge, a combo no kitchen should ever allow. In California branches, ingredients like shrimp, salsa, and sour cream were kept at unsafe temperatures, prompting immediate warnings. A former cook admitted that during peak hours, knives used for fajita meat sometimes doubled for taco veggies without a wash. Worse, a viral photo once rocked social media, an employee handling raw steak with bare hands, right next to burger buns, on a counter littered with food scraps. That's not just a slip-up, it's a red flag for a process in need of an overhaul. The bar area? Another chapter in the Chili's comedy. Former staff described soda machines caked with grime like ancient relics, floors slick with grease, and fruit flies buzzing around trays of lemons and limes for cocktails. One bartender posted a photo online of lemon slices soaking in murky water, captioned, "Fresh lemons for your iced tea, anyone brave enough." Then there's the dessert, that molten chocolate cake with its oozing center, the supposed pinnacle of culinary art. Don't get your hopes up. It's pre-made, frozen, with the filling already set at the factory. When ordered, it's microwaved. Not hot enough? Another zap. The ceramic plate might hide burn marks, but it can't mask the truth. This dish lacks the soul of a real restaurant. Diners are catching on. Platforms like TripAdvisor and X are flooded with hundreds of negative reviews, not just about dry ribs, but cold potatoes and pasta with an odd aftertaste. One customer left a scathing comment, "I ordered medium rare ribs, but the center was cold, like it came straight from the freezer." The server just shrugged, maybe the oven was too hot. I didn't argue, I just left, with a stomachache as a late warning. What stings more is how Chili's handles complaints. No apologies, no investigations, just a 10% discount code emailed as if the issue was a game of chance. To them, it seems the fault lies not in the kitchen or processes, but in the diner's taste buds. Chili's isn't the worst restaurant on earth, but it's a vivid example of a meal staged like a Hollywood set, fake smoke, frozen food, and a hint of bacteria lurking somewhere, all wrapped in dim lighting and a server's smile. Next time your friends say, "How about Chili's?" raise an eyebrow and ask, is it worth a reheated meal, dressed up with theatrical smoke and a side of unwanted seasoning? The answer, no doubt, lies in your stomach.
Popeye's Louisiana kitchen has been slapped with a lawsuit accusing the chain of using unsafe meat.
The allure of Popeye's hits you hard, a golden, crispy fried chicken crust, maybe with a spicy kick, paired with a soft, buttery biscuit. The orange and white logo stands out on bustling streets, calling out, "Come on into Popeyes." It sounds irresistible. But after conversations with insiders and digging into inspection reports, I've realized the crunchiest thing here isn't always the chicken. I used to love Popeyes. That crisp coating, the spice tingling on your tongue, the juicy thigh that kept me coming back. Then I spoke with Alicia, a former evening shift worker at a Phoenix location. "You know, we called it nap time chicken," she said with a laugh, "but not the easy kind. It sits in the holding oven from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., looks fine, but inside, dry as a bone." At many Popeyes locations, holding ovens don't just keep food warm for minutes, but sometimes for hours. Former employees say on busy days, excess fried chicken from one shift is reused in the next. While it meets temperature standards, the quality tanks, the crust loses its snap, oil seeps back into the meat, leaving it soggy and heavy. The mashed potatoes, seemingly simple, aren't made from fresh spuds as many assume. Staff from Georgia, Nevada, and Michigan confirm they're reconstituted from industrial powder mixed with boiling water and margarine. The accompanying Southern-style gravy, a concentrated powder mix, diluted and kept hot all shift long. Another surprise, the Cajun rice, once a signature dish, has vanished from many menus. Customer reviews and internal feedback describe it as overly salty, dry, and lacking flavor. Some locations axed it to dodge complaints, swapping it for simpler sides like fried corn or cold salads. Kitchen processes show inconsistency across locations. A suburban Chicago health inspection noted raw chicken handled near cooked chicken. Per the report, juices from raw trays dripped onto a prep counter where takeout orders were boxed. While the location addressed it, how many similar slip-ups go unnoticed? Oil management is another issue. Guidelines call for filtering or changing fryer oil every 1 to 2 days depending on use. But 3 former employees from Texas, New York, and North Carolina said some locations stretched it to 4 or 5 days. The oil turns dark, smells heavy, and produces an oddly colored crust. It's still edible, but it's not great and could be risky, one admitted. Those extra order biscuits, not always freshly baked. Some locations revealed that margarine is spread on cooled biscuits to retain moisture and fake freshness. "We don't have time to bake constantly, so we do that to make them look good," a worker said. Even the soda station, seemingly straightforward, has problems. A former manager described ice dispensers with light mold and buildup if not regularly cleaned. An Atlanta inspection found mild mold in an ice bin caused by prolonged damp conditions and rushed cleaning schedules. No denying it, Popeyes delivers a unique fried chicken flavor, a daily go-to for millions. But peering into some locations' operations raises questions: is speed trumping quality? Does crispy still mean safe? Not every restaurant is the same, and not every worker is careless. But if even a few locations have let concerning lapses slide, consumers deserve to know. That way we can each decide how much to trust a meal prepared behind closed kitchen doors. Leaving Popeyes behind, you step into IHOP, a place where the sizzle of the griddle and the sweet blend of butter and syrup make you feel like you've wandered into a cherished memory. The menu promises breakfast perfection, golden pancakes, fluffy omelets, and crisp bacon strips. But beneath that friendly blue roof lies a different reality, where fresh is often just a buzzword. Former IHOP cooks reveal that little is made from scratch. Eggs are poured from jugs, not cracked fresh. Pancake batter is mixed in the morning and used all day. Bacon is pre-cooked in bulk for every shift. Order at midnight and your meal might have been waiting since breakfast. The problems go beyond ingredients. Some staff admitted that kitchen tools, spatulas, knives are used across dishes without cleaning. Your blueberry pancakes might carry a faint trace of eggs or sausage from earlier. The French toast, dipped in a pre-mixed jug, not the fresh milk, eggs, and cinnamon promised in ads. Health inspections across multiple states reveal a pattern: food stored improperly, unsafe holding temperatures, and persistently dirty prep surfaces. One Texas IHOP was cited for keeping whipped topping above 50 degrees Fahrenheit, warm enough to breed bacteria. Another stored raw eggs next to pre-cut produce. Insider evidence makes it worse. Leaked videos and photos show sticky syrup dispensers, moldy whipped cream canisters, and waffle irons caked with black grime. One ex-employee posted a photo of an overloaded dishwasher, forcing staff to wipe plates with paper towels. A leaked video captured a low point during a shift short on tools. A cook used a broom handle to stir soup, a haunting quick fix. A former manager confided, "With that many customers, we're just trying to keep things running, but there's definitely room to do better." IHOP still draws crowds, still serves hot breakfasts, but the question looms: does convenience and brand loyalty outweigh what's happening behind the kitchen doors? When each pancake carries more than buttery flavor, but traces of a system built on shortcuts, does it still taste as good? Now let's pause at another American breakfast icon, a place where the red and yellow sign has lit up countless late nights for college kids, truckers, and insomniacs. Denny's. The name Denny's stirs a familiar warmth, a 3 a.m. meal of steaming pancakes, bottomless coffee poured with care, and the clatter of plates mingling with laughter. But after talking to former employees and sifting through stacks of inspection reports, you start to wonder, is that comforting breakfast you're ordering really just an industrial meal dressed up in nostalgia? Behind that friendly counter lies a system less like a kitchen and more like a cafeteria, where speed and convenience reign, while quality and culinary passion are often left at the start of the shift. Multiple former Denny's employees confirm most dishes don't start in a hot skillet, but a freezer. French fries? Frozen. Burger patties? Frozen. Some locations even use pre-scrambled eggs from large plastic bags poured onto the griddle like a thick yellow milkshake. Pancakes and waffles, the heart of every Denny's menu, are pre-mixed in batches, stacked on trays, and zapped in the microwave before serving. One ex-employee said, "We only clean the waffle iron when it starts smoking. That's when you know something's wrong." Another quipped, "Here, the microwave's beep is the head chef's call." If that doesn't give you pause, consider the health inspection records. A Denny's in Los Angeles was fined for cockroaches crawling through the kitchen. Another in Georgia had rat droppings under the salad prep table and behind the toaster oven. At some locations, the floor cleaner turned black before it even hit the tiles. Dishwashers used rags until they stank, not out of laziness but lack of time. One worker admitted, "The rush to serve outweighs the need to clean." It's a culture from the top down. Presentation? A roll of the dice. A viral review showed a Grand Slam breakfast with rubbery eggs, boiled-looking sausage, and toast so soggy it seemed left out for hours. The reviewer deadpanned, "It's like hospital food in disguise. Those creamy milkshakes you love? Brace yourself. They're made from soft-serve mix in a machine that, per one former manager, gets cleaned weekly, if they remember. Some weeks it doesn't get touched. That vanilla flavor you love might come with a hint of mold on the house." Another recurring complaint is inconsistency. One customer posted photos of two identical menu items, one Instagram-worthy, the other looking like cafeteria leftovers. Behind every plate is a story of labor. With high turnover and minimal training, it's not uncommon for new hires to be thrown into the kitchen after a 15-minute rundown. One ex-employee recalled, "I didn't know the menu yet, but I was frying eggs, grilling sausage, and filling orders all at once. Gloves weren't changed, knives weren't washed, and if no one complained, it was good enough." You might walk into Denny's craving the comfort of familiar food, but you could leave feeling like you just gambled with your health on their kitchen table, and you don't always win. Leaving Denny's behind, you're strolling through the mall when the aroma hits you before you even spot the counter. Warm garlic butter, melted cheese, and the rich scent of golden baked dough swirl through the air. Welcome to Sparrow, the pizza chain promising a New York-style slice at a wallet-friendly price. Sounds tempting. But beneath that cheesy crust lies a truth that would make any food-conscious eater wince. Sparrow thrives on the illusion of freshness. Yet, former employees reveal that many pizza slices are baked in bulk at dawn, neatly arranged in trays under heat lamps. When a customer orders, they're quickly reheated. One worker confessed some slices have been sitting there for 5 hours. "We just toss them back in the oven to crisp the top and serve." The pasta, boiled at the start of the shift, mixed with Alfredo sauce in the morning, and left in stainless steel trays all day. One described it, "At noon it's gluey. By 4 p.m. it's clumped like paste." Those fragrant garlic breadsticks, seemingly fresh, they're brushed with butter-flavored oil, pre-baked and reheated until hard as patio tiles. A staffer joked, "If it can chip your teeth, it's ready to go." The issues go beyond texture. Food storage temperatures at many Sparrow locations have raised red flags in health inspections. In one case, cooked sausage sat uncovered on a prep table for over an hour. When questioned, a worker shrugged, "We were going to use it later." Worse, the kitchen, supposedly a bastion of cleanliness, emerges in ex-employee accounts and photos as a neglected space. Pizza flour left exposed, collecting dust, cheese bins rimmed with greasy residue, sauce containers with crusty lids and oxidized surfaces, unwashed for days. A viral video captioned a prep area shot with one line, "Bon appetit if you're still hungry." The pizza cutter, a critical tool, isn't spared. Many workers admit that between orders it's wiped with a rag sitting on the counter. Your veggie slice might carry oil traces from the previous pepperoni, or worse. Ingredient quality raises more doubts. Sparrow's cheese isn't freshly grated but comes in large plastic bags, pre-mixed with anti-caking agents. Dough is kneaded from frozen ingredients thawed in batches. If not used by day's end, employees admit it's often repackaged for tomorrow. One ex-worker was blunt: if a slice can still bend, it's back under the heat lamp the next morning. So, next time you hold a Sparrow slice, wondering why the crust is crisp but the base is chewy, or why the cheese has an odd tang, remember it might be yesterday's legacy. You're not buying a fresh pizza but a ticket to the freezer's past, and you're paying for convenience, not flavor. If you thought mall food was enough to make you hesitate, hold on to your plate. Waffle House might be the next stop that has you second-guessing. Scattered along America's highways, glowing under the cloak of late-night darkness, Waffle House's yellow sign shines like a beacon for those seeking warmth at 3 a.m. You'll find hot waffles, strong coffee, and the clink of silverware on Formica counters. But stick around long enough, and you might also witness something less heartwarming, like two diners brawling over cold hash browns. Waffle House is legendary for never closing, braving storms, blackouts, or global crises. But former employees say what should close isn't the doors, it's the uncovered pancake batter tub or the syrup dispensers that get refilled but never cleaned. The only thing fresh daily here, one ex-kitchen worker quipped, is the drama. Start with the basics: eggs. At many locations, they're not cracked per order but pre-broken into a large jug at the shift's start, sitting out all day, occasionally stirred. One cook was blunt: smells fine, use it; smells off, add cheese. The signature cheese grits, pre-mixed powder tossed with a few hand-torn cheese slices, and done. The sausage gravy for biscuits, conjuring images of a slow-simmered family recipe. It's industrial, canned, salty, and kept hot all day. Pancake batter sits in open tubs, a magnet for flies and dust. Waffle irons, the restaurant's namesake, are rarely deep cleaned, with grease caking the edges, sometimes dripping into fresh batter. A viral video showed a worker scraping burnt batter with a spoon, then flipping it to stir the grits pot for customers. The frying system leans on shortcuts too. Oil, ideally changed daily, can go from golden to brown to black at some locations. Chicken, fish, sausage, and hash browns share the same vat. If your potatoes taste oceanic, you know why. Sanitation isn't just a sensory issue. A Texas Waffle House was fined because staff didn't wash hands after handling raw eggs. A Georgia location had mold in the ice machine and standing water under the grill. Mouse droppings were found beneath ovens, and expired spices stayed in use because they looked fine. When dishwashers break, a frequent issue, plates are hand-washed, stacked wet, and served immediately. Customers have shared photos of lipstick-stained glasses, greasy plates, and chipped bowls hitting the table. Why do people keep coming? Convenience, cheap prices, and 24/7 access. But behind that $10 breakfast is a crew juggling cooking, cleaning, order taking, and sometimes chasing roaches in relentless shifts. One shift, I was frying eggs, mopping the floor, taking orders, and shooing a mouse, a cook recalled. All in 10 minutes. Sounds like a joke, but it might be true. So, next time you crave a late-night waffle, Waffle House will be there. But before you take that first bite, ask yourself, are you eating breakfast or starring in an experiment on the limits of tolerance? 6 restaurants. 6 household names on America's culinary map. From syrup-drenched pancakes at IHOP to fragrant BBQ ribs at Chili's and crispy fried chicken at Popeyes, each has been a go-to for millions of meals. But behind the warm glow of lights and tempting menus lies a series of unsettling stories. According to former employees and health inspection reports, some locations have reused expired meat, had rodents in freezers, moldy ice machines, and instances where staff were pressured to overlook spoiled food. These aren't isolated incidents. They point to a systemic choice: cutting costs, prioritizing speed, and maximizing profit, even at the expense of safety and ethics. Sound far-fetched? When a restaurant values haste over hygiene or profit over responsibility, every dish served is part of that flawed chain. And without caution, consumers, however, unknowingly enable it. The sad truth is, these issues aren't rare or one-offs. To be clear, not every location is guilty, not every employee turns a blind eye, and not every story applies to every outlet. This isn't about smearing brands or tarnishing reputations. Our goal is to empower you, the consumer, with insight into what might be happening behind kitchen doors so you can make better choices for your health. Dining should bring satisfaction, not worry, but peace of mind comes from knowledge, not naivety. Next time you enter a restaurant, don't just scan the menu. Notice the space: is the floor clean? Are staff professional? Any off smells in the air? You don't need to be a chef or inspector, but you have the right to protect yourself with your senses and judgment. Choosing where to eat carefully doesn't just shield you from food risks, it's a way to reject systems that operate without conscience. Sometimes the smallest act, like quietly leaving when a dish seems off, is the loudest statement. To help you stay proactive, here are 5 simple but effective tips. First, smell before you eat. Your nose can detect off odors from spoiled or mishandled food. Second, check the restroom. A dirty bathroom is a red flag for overall operational neglect. Third, don't hesitate to ask staff questions about ingredients or prep, can reveal a restaurant's transparency. Fourth, avoid ordering late in the day. Many dishes like fried items, soups, or sauces may have been prepped in the morning and lost freshness. Finally, read customer reviews, especially 1-2-star ones. These often hold the rawest truths about disappointing experiences. Your health isn't a gamble. Every meal you choose, whether a piece of fried chicken or an iced drink, shapes a healthier food ecosystem, or the opposite. These 6 famous restaurants, for all their fame, aren't always as flawless as their glossy ads. But you have the power to question, to choose, and to speak up. Because once you know what's really going on, dining isn't just about taste, it's about health, trust, and responsibility. If this piece makes you rethink your eating habits or pause before ordering, our mission is accomplished. Follow our channel for more truths behind the pristine tablecloths, and share if you believe others deserve to know too.